What is up, guys? Paradoxio here. Welcome back to a brand new video, everybody. Today we are going to be yet again kickstarting off another brand new series called Web Development for Beginners. Now, in this series, what we'll be learning is essentially how a website is made and the all types of things we can actually add and do with our website, and how we can also host it and get it its own domain as well. And in this series, we're going to be making a number of different websites, some of which might be portfolios, blogs, chat rooms, articles, download pages, and whatnot. And we're going to also learn how we can add images and videos to our website. And we are going to also learn how we can add some functionality and style it with some themes and colors. So that is essentially all the things we are going to be learning in this new series. Now, this will be recorded along with my ongoing JavaScript series. However, the main difference between these two is the JavaScript that we'll be using in our web development series that I'm starting today is going to be more geared towards, well, web development, while the JavaScript for Beginners series is just an intro to JavaScript and just general programming with that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the programming language we are going to be using today for our website is HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. The version we're going to be using is HTML5, which is the version that everyone should be using. It is the version that is basically the starting stone or the stepping stone of every, or not every, but just about every single website that we know and use on a daily basis. It has been around since 1993. However, the version that we all know and feel familiar with came out in '99. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started by opening up our text editor. That's right, we don't need to download or install anything today because we already have HTML on our computer by default. So let's go ahead and get started here by making our directory of our web page, which I've already done. I just titled it Web Dev Tutorial. But I haven't made my actual file yet, so let's go ahead and do that by right-clicking here and clicking on New File. And we're going to call this index.html. Now, you don't have to call it index.html, but that is what most beginners usually have theirs called. Of course, though, once we get multiple pages of our website, we'll need multiple HTML files. So in the future, you might want to call this something like home or main.html. But anyways, if I go ahead and run this file, and I just go ahead and start it, it'll automatically open up my browser. But as you can see, there is nothing on it, obviously, because we haven't added any real content. Now, the way I'm running this file is a little bit different than how you may think. You may immediately go up to here by natural instinct and try to run it this way. However, we cannot run this code language using the run extension. The way we can run HTML files is by downloading the live server extension. It is free. We just go up here, search up live server, and we already have it. It is by Ritwick Day. I think I'm saying it right. I apologize if not. But we just download and install that. It is 100% free. And after we install it, all we have to do is just go to the bottom right here and click Go Live, and it will automatically open up your default browser, and you'll basically see everything that's on your HTML document, and it's live, meaning as you're programming, it'll automatically update. You don't have to refresh. But that is about it about live server. Now let's go ahead and start making our HTML document. So the first thing we want to do is just type in a greater than symbol, an exclamation point, and we want to type doc type in all caps, and then space, and then HTML in lowercase. And after that, we want to press enter, and we're going to go ahead and type in HTML. Now, once I press this less than sign, you will notice something, and that is it automatically completes the tag. And something you want to keep in mind is the ends of these tags have a /, so that is how we know where the tag starts and ends. But anyways, I'm going to go in between here, and I'm going to press enter, and then I'm going to type in head. Whoops. And then after that, I'm just going to press enter, and then I'm going to leave the head tag, and then I'm going to come down here. Now, after that, we are going to go ahead and type in body, press enter, and then you're going to press main, remove the class. That's just an autofill extension I have. And then we're going to press enter again, and we are done. We can go ahead and start adding content to our HTML file. Now, of course, if I were to go ahead and click go live and run this, even though we have all these tags here, it still shows blank because it's not really any content. All this is the skeleton of our HTML document. Now, inside this body, more specifically the main tags, is where all of our content is going to reside. Now, up here in the head, that is where you're going to reference your styles or your style files or CSS files, and that's how you can import them into your HTML document. You can do the same with JavaScript files, however, that is somewhere else. It's not in the head. And another thing we can do in the head is we can give it a title as well. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a title just because why not? And I'm going to call it my first website. And you'll see it should change. Let me go ahead and actually restart that. Yep, alright, so it changed right here. I'm not sure why it didn't change live. It usually does. But as you can see, this title here is the, well, title of our website. And there's another thing we can add here, and it's called a character set. And all you have to do is just type in meta char set. And then we are going to set it to UTF-8. That is the encoding we are going to be using. I think it uses it by default, but in case it doesn't, it's just a good practice to put it here, especially if you want to ever use a different encoding in the future. But anyways, that's enough of the head right here. Now let's go back to our body and main tags. And the first thing we're going to talk about is headers. Now, there are 6 different types of header tags. There's H1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And essentially what it does is it starts off at 1 as the biggest and it goes all the way to 6 as the smallest. So they go from greatest to least in size, or well, font size I should say. So if I go ahead and type in H1 here and I just type in hello world, as you can see, it pops up here and it's pretty big. I think it's about a font size of about 32 or 48 or 64, somewhere around there. It's a pretty big font size. Well, and it's a header too, so it should be big. But there are 5 more of these headers, so I'm gonna go ahead and paste 5 more, and I'm just gonna change these to H2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I know it's already updating on here, but we're actually supposed to change it on the ends too. Otherwise it may not be displayed correctly. But as you can see, header 1 or H1 being the biggest, and H6 or header 6 being the smallest. So that is it for our headers. And let's go ahead and go on to our paragraph tags. Now to make a paragraph tag, it is just the same greater than sign, P, and then less than. And then we can type in something like, hello, how are you today? And as you can see, it'll automatically update and add our paragraph. We can go ahead and add another one just because why not? I am doing great. Thanks. And as you can see, has a little bit of a space here to tell you that it's 2 different paragraphs. So that's why you see that space. If this was a lot longer where it would come off the left side here, it wouldn't be that big of a gap. But that is our 2 paragraph elements or tags. Now let's go on to the lists. Now there are 2 different types of lists we can make. We can make an unordered list or an ordered list. Now the only difference is one uses numbers and one uses bullet points. So let's go ahead and try out an unordered list first. To that we just need to type in UL like that, press enter, and to actually add an element or a list element or an item I should say, all we gotta do is just type in LI. That basically means list item, and then we can go ahead and add whatever we want. So I'm gonna make a grocery list, so I want to go ahead and type in milk. And of course, you don't actually have to have it indented like that for these elements. It does make it look easier, but if it's something small like this, it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and add eggs to this list, and then I'm going to add bread, and then I'm going to add water. So as you can see, it uses our bullet points here. We can't actually copy the bullet points, but we can copy the contents by highlighting over it. So that is our unordered list. Now, if I show you what an ordered list looks like, it is basically the same thing, except it uses numbers. And to make it an ordered list, we just have to type in OL instead of UL. And as you can see here, instead of bullet points, it uses numbers. Now, something that might be worth talking about is we can actually change the styles. Like, even if we use an ordered list, we can remove the numbers if we wanted, or you can make it go from left to right instead of top to bottom. However, we won't get into that until a later episode when we dive into CSS and how we can style our website, such as font size, the different types of fonts, colors, the position where you want it to appear on the page, etc. But we're not going to get into that in today's episode. That will be much later though. Won't be the next episode, but a little bit afterwards. But anyways, that is our 2 list elements. Now let's go on to the most, probably the most interesting part of this video, and that is making hyperlinks for our webpage. Now, if you don't know what a hyperlink is, it is basically a URL that's masked by words or letters, and it can appear in a header, a list, anywhere in a paragraph, just about in anywhere on your HTML document. To make a hyperlink, all we need to do is just type in the tag that we want it to appear in. So if I wanted it to be in a paragraph tag, I can type in P, just like that, and then I want to press enter, and I want to type in A. And then I'm going to, well, actually we don't have to press enter, but it is up to you. But inside this first tag here, I can't really zoom in, but you want to go between the less than sign and the A, and then we're going to type in href, that means for hyper reference, and then we're going to set it equal to an empty string for now. Basically what we are going to put here is the URL that we want the hyperlink to take us to. Now for this example, I'm going to have it take us to my Discord server, House of Code. So I'm going to go ahead and create a link here, and I'm going to go ahead and close that out, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste it inside this string, and that's it. Other than obviously titling our hyperlink, and since it's my Discord server, I'm just going to type it House of Code, and as you can see, it pops up right here, and if I click on it, it'll take us to the Discord's server, and it'll open up my Discord client. But that is how we can make a hyperlink. Now, again, we can change the style by changing the color of the hyperlink, the style of it, or the decoration, which is like the underline and whatnot. You don't have to have this for paragraph tags. If I wanted this to be in a header, I could do that easily. Just like that, so now it's part of a header. Sorry guys, I keep wanting to say header for whatever reason, but that is how we make our hyperlink tags. It's very easy. All we have to do is just have a tag like a paragraph or a list or a header tag, and then inside that tag we're going to put in a link tag, which is symbolized by the letter A. So that is about it for today's episode. I just wanted to show you guys the basics, a few of the different tags that we can use for our HTML document. Next episode, we are going to do the same thing, but a little bit more in depth. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and leave me a comment telling me how your day was or what you guys would like to see next time. If you have had any trouble while coding today, or if you would just like to hang out with me and over 500 other programmers alike, be sure to join my Discord server. Not only the link is right here, but the link will be also in my description as well. So feel free to join, guys. Again, have a great day, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. The children sing aloud, it's music till the wick